Hey everyone, it's the second funkiest Kong here, and I thought it was about time in the Apex season where I started going back through my battle replays and sharing a couple of interesting matches. So the first one I've got on the slate for you all here is a fairly interesting match from earlier in the season versus Xenogearcap. Good friend of the channel, so I was happy to run into him on the battlefield. First off, what we notice is he has quite an aggressive box. He's not running 3 tanks, he's just got Lightbringer in here. He's also just running Sissi as his healer/enabler. You'll sometimes even see one healer Sissi boxes without any tanks. So he's got IBC as his other enabler, he also has a few assassins. And Oboro, a slower character, presumably in here as a lever against pure turtle teams, just in case he needs to pick someone like that who can get around turtles. Other than that, very fast and aggressive team here. So I'm going to go ahead and ban the AO first. Of course, Xeno bans my AO and first picks Grenshield, knowing that with this kind of box that I'm running earlier in the season, with AO off the table, I'm probably going to go down a Rosenseal and tank line. He's basically, by banning Lando second there, he's basically ensuring that I'm going to pick a tank second rather than another strong DPS. It basically just gives him another round of DPS bans. Now he gets his Lostum and his IBC, which is a very dangerous combination, and I probably shouldn't have allowed it. And with my last pick, I probably could have done well with another DPS. As it stands, I'm running 2 healers and a tank here. I figured, as player 2, last pick Liana will at least allow me to bring the Sky Archer to enable the Gintoki and give me an act again that, you know, I could use to leverage as additional DPS against Xeno's team. I know he's going to be coming right at me, so my hope is going to be able to last long enough and kind of tank up and survive long enough that I can pick off the units that he sends in. As long as everyone doesn't come in at the same time, maybe that'll be doable. Okay, he didn't bring unicorns on Grenshield. You'll sometimes see that against Gintokis. Grenshield with unicorns, pretty good unit for Gintoki killing. But he does have IBC with unicorns, and she's also a good Gintoki killer. Elwyn is also a good Gintoki killer in a pinch. So as I mentioned, my goal to start is going to be to hang back, try to get set up, and basically not allow his whole team to come in at the same time. His Grenshield catches a breeze there, which is quite unfortunate. So I'm going to try to position my characters here in a way that they can surround my Lightbringer and not allow that Grenshield to come in turn 1, plant her Grenshield, and turn off my tank. Lostum gets a breeze there too. So Xenogear in a pretty good spot at the end of turn 1. This Grenshield super oppressive. I can't open up my Lightbringer without basically allowing that Grenshield to kill whoever she wants. Lostum can also reach... Lostum can reach the front lines with his Guard Ignore skill. Not super worried about that. McLean not on water though, so he doesn't have Revive yet. Gintoki generally pretty bulky, although bringing Phalanx here in an attempt to have some damage reduction against one of these bringing horses or against the Elwyn. Probably going to come back to bite me in the ass since this Lostum is on Sand Seas. So ironically, my Gintoki becoming slightly less bulky against that one unit. Nothing to do but stand there though, because I don't want Grenshield to throw her Grenshield. Sure enough, Xeno is going to come in and make an attempt on someone in the front line here. He comes in, it's going to be Gintoki, and he does secure the kill. So with Gintoki down, my whole plan of bringing Liana as a 5th pick enabler for him is out the window. She's just an act again now, just a normal old act again. Now, I'm not sure what I was thinking there. I think I kind of lost the plot. It may have been an ill-advised attempt to save McLean's life, because I could have, with my Spirit Boots, I could have moved back up into position to prevent, like, to protect the Lightbringer from this Gren Shield attack. But by moving on to water, I got McLean his revive, so it was kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Although that said, he didn't have anyone left who could straight up assassinate my McLean standing in front of Lightbringer, so overall, pretty huge mistake by moving him away and opening her up. Because now he's not under guard anyway, you know. So she's able to chuck the shield down for whoever else wants to come in later, and still take McLean's first life. I burn the act again here, basically in a desperate attempt to get Lightbringer off this sword more quickly. It's going to take a couple moves to get out of range of that sword. Alright, so he still has turn priority. I'm still stuck to the sword, so I'm not guarding. The Lostum able to creep in and take away the second life. And now Lightbringer moves into position. Okay, so normally this would be the time where I would retreat from this battle because I have no DPS left. But as I mentioned, this is earlier in the season, and I kind of want to test out Lightbringer's survival capabilities when paired with a couple of healers. So the rest of this battle is kind of a recon mission where I'm basically going to be trying to keep Lightbringer alive and see... You know, Xeno has no healers, he has no tanks, so if I can keep the Lightbringer alive for a while, she can basically chip away at these units, and hopefully put a dent in Xeno's team. We'll see how far that goes. Okay, Elwyn going to be the first to crash into the Lightbringer wall here. The Dispel is not super scary for her, but he does do plenty of damage. She wasn't using Lance or troops, so that didn't help. And Gren Shield just comes up and polishes off her first life. Okay, so decent damage on this Gren. Lightbringer does heal herself back up to full. But we have another 5 strip attack from IBC, so things are starting to fall apart for this Lightbringer. Definitely not out of the woods, especially with Elwyn still left to attack. Gren Shield runs around into the fog to attack instead. Takes out the tank, and it leaves Elwyn some room to basically run around, get some good distance, and kill whichever healer he wants. So at that point, my recon is concluded. Lightbringer did nothing, and supported by these 2 healers. And overall, just a terrible pick and ban from me, and not great skill or soldier selections either. Probably could have been winnable if I had a better team. Xeno basically did what I expected him to, and unfortunately he also did what he expected him to, which was rush in and overwhelm my team. So good game, Xeno. I'm not sure if he has continued playing that style of oppressive rush box for the rest of the season, but earlier in the season it certainly worked out well for him. So thanks for that game, Xeno.